nice spin move to get into the end zone. Heady play here by Bowen Smith. We get him to draw him off sides and get a jump ball down to D-Les down the field, and he gets him a touchdown. And when he gets in space, with that big body, it makes it tough for those DBs. And a big play right here, interception here defensively, and the guys continuing to improve defensively. Been proud of those guys and had a tough task, having to defend the option this past weekend. It's, with some young guys out there, really tried to harp on them about, assignment football, and they have to do their job. But, a touchdown there by Bowen to Duke Ferguson. Here's another big run by Willie early in this ball game. Thought the offensive line did a good job adjusting to some things that they did up front with some twists and movements and things throughout the day. Trayvon with a touchdown here. He squirts out the front door, which I give him a hard time about this one. It should have been a give to Willie, and that was Willie's touchdown he took away from him. So Darius Gibson gets on the books here with the touchdown here in late in the first half. And then here was one here in the second half, and a heck of a block there by Dylan Wheatley to set that up for Willie. And Dylan had a nice run there early in the ball game. Probably ended up missing the highlights here, but look at these guys flying around the football and getting there and making plays. We're excited about getting our coaches out on the road this week. I know you've seen that popped up there, and each coach is sort of hitting a different area, trying to get to as many schools as we can in the next 3 days, and trying to see as many kids as we can. We won't get to every school we want to, but we got to sort of look at it geographically and where we can get to and get to as many places as possible. Get out and watch some of these kids on Friday night as well.
A lot of people don't understand that recruiting goes on year-round. Anytime you get a break, like this week you got the break with the off date, but you got to send guys everywhere.
Oh, we do, and we've got guys in Georgia. We'll be in South Carolina, Tennessee, all across the state of Kentucky here, Southern Ohio. We'll get into Virginia and West Virginia a little bit. So, and then we'll follow back up again, in late November and early December. We'll get out there for a week and a half, 2 weeks to get to everywhere we need to. So, also, it's been big getting guys on campus for visits and game visits, and we got 2 big visits still to come later on this season. And with 2 night games, that even makes it nice for some of our kids that's traveling from distance. So, hey, it's a Friday night. Hey, we get home late, but now they can still sleep in and still be able to make it here to campus to see us and watch a game and see what we got to offer here at the University of Pikeville.
That's true. I thought the big thing about Saturday is you got off to a great start early.
Yep.
You got to play a lot of guys, get a lot more experience out there.
We did, and got to rotate some guys and mix and match and look at some different lineups out there, whether it's offensive line, whether it's out on the perimeter with wideouts, even in the backfield defensively, with different fronts, with different backers, with different guys in the secondary. So, those things are key for us as we continue to build. And, we got a lot of young guys still taking a lot of reps. And even though we're getting some guys healthy, it's starting to build some depth. And that's big for us as we're continuing to push through this Mid-South, and being 2-0 in the conference now is the most important thing going into an off week.
Tell you what, a big start in conference play. Time for us to take our first break, so we'll be right back on the Al Holland Show live from B-Dubs. And we're back here at B-Dubs on the Coach Al Holland Show. We're here with Coach Eric Mobley, and I'm going to call you Mob, is what I call you all the time. Mobley's been here for quite a while now. You went 4 years here at UPike.
Yes, sir, I did that. I got my undergrad here. I ended up getting my master's degree. As you can see, got the O-line here today. Love my big old dudes. They take care of me up front. But I've been here for probably 10, 12 years now, somewhere in there. I actually played under Coach Holland and the gang behind us, take care of us.
Hey, I understand. I'm a former offensive lineman myself.
Yeah.
We got to stick together. We got to get glory wherever we can,
They're a good group. I've had a lot of them. A lot of them are juniors, and I got a bunch of freshmen coming in. I got a good senior in Matthew Fields, who takes the leadership of it. Getting him back from an injury 2-3 weeks ago, it's been real good for us, having that leadership for us.
Well, I know Saturday a big game for you, able to get some of your offensive linemen in, get some experience on some of the younger guys, and I thought your offensive line did really well for you.
We like it. You know how it is with offensive linemen. We're up and down, but the good thing about us, we bought in each other, and it doesn't matter if you're a fifth-year senior or a true freshman. They buy into it, and they're working together, and they're competing every single day in everything they do, and they want to learn more. So I try to, give them the plate and let them take advantage of everything they get.
Of course, I know about a lot of things going on in your life as we're pretty close.
Yes.
And just got married.
I did. I got married in May to Michelle Meeks, Michelle Mobley now. We were together. I actually met her at the University of Pikeville. She was an athletic trainer here, and we've known each other for a long time before I finally got brave enough to, pop the question, ask her to marry me. So.
I'll tell you, it's kind of infectious. Your best friend, Lamb, proposed not long afterwards.
Justin Lamb, him and I, we played ball together. He finally just popped the question, probably 3-4 months ago, I'd say. So, getting ready for his wedding. Hopefully, he's coming up soon. I know him and his fiance have been working hard on that, especially with football season right now in season and things like that.
I know you're getting ready to take a trip back to South Carolina on a recruiting trip. What are you? I guess you're looking for offensive linemen.
Not really. I'll tell you, I'm looking for a center, just especially with losing Matthew. But I got a good young group. You got Wes Neese. He's going to be an upcoming redshirt sophomore. So I got a good young group coming in. Offensive line-wise, we're a good, solid group. Like I said, I don't really have one senior, a bunch of juniors and a bunch of freshmen, a couple sophomores sprinkled in there. So I got a good young group and a lot of guys that I'm not going to lose for the next couple of years. It's good to build on and, let them compete every single day.
And I know you're going to give you a chance to go home and visit your family. I know that's important to you.
Yes, especially going home to see Mom. Mom's been very big in my life. A lot of people don't know my dad passed away July 2nd. So it's been rough on me, and, my guys have really taken care of me this year because, especially when losing your father like that, it's rough, especially right before the season. They have taken care of me, and they've put me on their back, and they supported me in everything I've needed. So I've been happy with them, and going to see my brother and my two nephews and my new niece. So I'm really excited to get home and see the family. So it's gonna be a good, interesting. Get to go see some ball games too. So it's gonna be fun. Get to see the family and get to go recruiting back home.
Hopefully the weather will hold out. We were just talking about that. Big storm coming up through the Florida area, and we'll back up into South Carolina. So hopefully you'll get to see some games. I know you're looking for any kind of talent you can find.
Most definitely, yes, sir. We're definitely looking some. South Carolina has some good talent all around, defense-wise, offense-wise. We got a great group from South Carolina. We have a great connection with a lot of schools down there. So back when I was a GA, Coach Holland and I really hit South Carolina hard, and we've actually made a bunch of connections down there. So it's worked out really well for us.
Well, South Carolina's been an area that's been recruited heavily throughout the history of UPike, which, we both know as well. And some of the things, I guess, like I say, the weight room. Talk a little bit about your weight program.
The weight room. I have a great guy, Andrew Susi. He helps me out real well in the weight room. And him and I really push the tempo in the weight room. There's no, we push it like we're on the football field. Everything's 100 miles an hour. Really focus on the squat and the power clean. Like I said, we're really working on that full body motion, explosive movement. So we've been working hard in there. Even in the season right now, we work to get stronger. We're not working to contain. We're not working to just stay average. Me and Coach Susi really push the tempo, really push the weight because we want to get stronger in the season. So even when we're in the off season, we're pushing the tempo even harder, pushing the weight even more. There's no being complacent in the weight room. That's where you get better at every day.
Well, you know, in this type of an offense, the offensive line has got to be very versatile. You got to pull. You got to have really good footwork as well as strength.
Oh, most definitely. And we know, like I said, we really work on jump. We jump rope, try to jump rope at least once a week. We definitely hit the bags. Try to definitely get that footwork. But, you know, big thing is getting some movement. You know, we got big guys up front, and Chase Richardson and Jalen Stone and all them, they do a great job. JP and Spears, they do a lot of good things for us. The good thing about them is, like I said, they're very athletic as big offensive linemen.
Well, Coach, glad you stopped by, Mob, and I'm sure I'll be seeing a lot more of you as time goes on.
Hey, I appreciate it, Mr. Charles.
So
Thank you, sir.
We'll be right back on the Coach Al Holland Show. And welcome back to the Al Holland Show live here at Buffalo Wild Wings. We're here with Coach Trevor Hoskins. That's kind of funny for me to say because I remember when it was quarterback Trevor Hoskins.
Yep, glad to be here.
Trevor, you played here at UPike. Matter of fact, most people some people may have heard your name. You hold about every passing record in the book.
Yeah, we had a good career here. Obviously, we put up some points and things and had a lot of fun. And now going into the coaching role, I really enjoy it. And
I thought Bo was going to tie your touchdown record the other day.
Yeah, I thought he was too. I mean, he had 5, I think, with 14 minutes left in the second quarter. So obviously, I was rooting for him. I wanted it to happen, and couldn't have happened to a better kid if that's the way it worked out. So obviously, I'm right there rooting for him.
Well, I understand that completely. He may actually have a record. I don't know if we've had 5 in one half before.
Yeah, I don't think so. Especially, I don't know 5 and 5 and a half, but I think it was about 5 and a quarter in just a a couple minutes. I believe. So yeah.
You really looked good Saturday. I thought that your offense really was clicking on all cylinders. It seemed like every call you guys made, there was somebody open. And we were talking to Coach Holland earlier. I think your longest drive in the first half was like 1:05.
Yeah. Yeah, it was one of those games where things were rolling for us. We were scoring quick. I think we looked at halftime. We had under 10 minutes time of possession, but we racked up a ton of points. It was just one of those games where all 11 guys on the offensive line was really clicking up front. The running backs were playing well, receivers making plays, and it just seemed like one of those games where everything was clicking on all cylinders for us.
Well, obviously, we know how familiar you are with the offense because you played in it, played for Coach Holland. He was offensive coordinator, I think, when you were here, wasn't he?
Yep, offensive coordinator. I played with Coach Holland at Eastern Kentucky University in this offense, or the basis of this offense. It's obviously grown a lot over the years, and Coach has expanded on it. But, yeah, obviously been in this system or close to this system since 2007, coming out of high school.
And, you think about this system as kind of you're blessed to have actually 2 good quarterbacks playing for you right now. You got the the drop back passer, and then you've got the quarterback with the legs too.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, more than just those two, I feel confident and comfortable with everybody in that quarterback room. You got an entire group right there that are really good players and even better kids. They're a joy to coach, and you know, T and Bo are guys that's stepping up playing right now. But I truly feel confident with all 5 or 6 of those guys.
Well, Trev, you know, with all we talked about, all the records and everything, and you're actually going to be honored this year. You're going to be coming into the UPike Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it's a really big honor for me. Very, very proud and humbled to be a part of that. You know, a lot of people, a lot of great players in that Hall of Fame, and you know, University of Pikeville is special to me. This place is like home to me, so it really is a big honor for me to be able to do that.
Actually, a lot of people don't know, but you actually went home and coached high school for a couple of years right after you left here, and then when Coach Holland called, it didn't take you long to decide to come back, did it?
No, I enjoyed, you know, I enjoyed being offensive coordinator at Middlesboro. It was a really good experience for me. Grew up a lot as a coach, you know, during those 2 years. You know, running your own side of the ball, having to call plays for the first time, and doing it at the high school level was something that was a big learning experience for me. But you know, my love was at the college game, and I was excited to be able to come back.
You know, we'll talk a little bit. I remember one game in particular. We'll talk about. Remember the game at Faulkner when you had to come back from behind and were throwing it all over the field?
Yep, I remember that game. I remember that game well.
That was one. That was a really interesting night. I know it looked like we were in trouble, and then all of a sudden, much like it did in the first half Saturday, your offense started clicking, and man, you put up a bunch of yards in that second half.
Yeah, just one of those games to where things kind of started out slow for us, and you know, just kept plugging away and sticking with it, and all of a sudden things started rolling. One of my most memorable games here. Yeah, I enjoyed that.
I know we were looking at those records because, you know, obviously when Bo approaching that record, we started looking and said you got 6 touchdowns, I think, twice in your career, and 5 maybe twice. So I think he's tied with you for 3rd place. Well, technically, I guess since he's the youngest in that group, he will be considered in 3rd place.
Yeah, and like I said, I was right there rooting for him. I was up in the box and obviously happy with the way we started as an offense, but you know, once you know, people started mentioning it, I was like, you know, I was hoping that he would get it because really couldn't have happened to a better person.
I know of course, you know, you change up a little bit in the second half. You really weren't worried. You're worried about winning the game and not breaking records. So it just happened that he didn't get anything in the second half.
Yeah, it was one of those things to where, you know, I think back then when we broke those records, it was a lot of back and forth and, you know, a lot of close and tight ball games. This is one of those situations where we had a pretty good lead. The running backs were running the ball well and hit some big runs. And it was just one of those things to where it started out fast and he got a lot. And then in the second half, you know, other things happened, and that's just part of it.
Yeah, you know, we were in several shootouts back when you were playing. That is true. You know, and those kind of games are when you set up with those kind of big numbers.
Yeah, a lot of shootouts. Fun to play in, but I'm sure, you know, looking at it now as a coach, you know, you much rather coach in the ones like we did Saturday or some more of those games. But as a player, they were fun to play in.
I appreciate you talking with me, and good luck on the rest of the season.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
We'll be right back on the Coach Al Holland Show. And welcome back to B-Dubs here on the Coach Al Holland Show. And now let's talk a little bit about what happens in an off week, because this is your bye week.
It's a little bit different for us, and this probably, I think it's the first time since I've been here that our fall break with the school has sort of worked out the same time as it being our off week, which typically we would give our guys the Friday, Saturday off, and we'd be off Monday, practice Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But with us having fall break Thursday and Friday, we figured we'd let the kids take advantage of it as well too. So, practicing at 5:50 a.m. in the mornings, and that way they can get to class and bright and early. So we'll practice Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday this week in the morning time, lifting weights on Monday and Tuesday. But that gave them the evenings to sort of work on some group projects, to do some things like that, and to get caught up in the classroom from missing class maybe on a Friday. Then they may still have an assignment out or something like that. So it's been good for the kids. The kids have really enjoyed it, to have that extra time and really trying to get healed up as well and get those guys in the training room, get some extra treatment and those type things. So really working some different scenarios during practice and things. So we're prepared coming down the stretch, but it's also been good for us to be able to evaluate some of the guys that maybe not taking as many reps on Saturdays, and we have some of those live periods, and it's been big for us. And in the development of guys, kids 18, 19, 20, 21, 22-year-olds, they get caught up in the moment right then. So much of, hey, I want, why am I not getting so many yards per carry? Why am I not getting so many balls thrown to me? Why am I not getting so many reps on Saturday? And, a prime example is a young man like Jalen Stone, offensive lineman. It's been, very proud of him. He's a guy that took advantage of an off week whenever he redshirted his freshman year. We do some futures on futures and live reps and things like that, and you just see the development of him and taking it to a new level. And then now look at him as, I think he's probably going to be more than likely an all-conference type guy, and he would get my vote. And so these guys have to understand that, and we're continuing to try to develop these young men all the way across the board, and not only trying to win ball games on Saturday, but looking for the future of this program as well, and each and every one of these individuals too.
Well, speaking of individuals, this gives you more individual time with some of these kids too.
Oh yes, it does, and and it's a heck of an opportunity for some of these guys, to be able to spend that one-on-one time with them. We've also had some guys down in the facility getting extra time in and extra drill work with their position coach too. So, you see it, they're chomping at the bit, they're hungry. They're not satisfied with where we are. We're a long way away from our goals and where we want to be, and to be consistently week in and week out, but. It's a work in progress, and we got great young men and, the right young men that want to do it the right way.
Well, also, this fall break and give these kids this weekend off gives you and your other coaches a chance to get out and search for new talent.
Oh, yeah, it does, and it's big for us as a staff. We try to get out during our off week, but now with it hitting this way, now we can get coaches out a day early, and now we're out all day Wednesday after we come out of a 6 a.m. practice. The guys shower and we're on the road, and we can get to as many schools as we can, watch some people practice Wednesday night. Thursday, we're in as many schools in and out as we can, and then watching a couple practices that evening. And then Friday we're in schools and then trying to get to some games because, hey, it makes it tough for you, we try to watch some games at distance now because, we get to watch a lot of these local games or within an hour from us, but, outside of that, it makes it tough for us, because we don't have that helicopter to hop in and to be there on the 50-yard line when they kick off on a Friday night and to be back and ready to go. Because, we got obligations here as well. So, it's great for our staff to get out to evaluate some kids, some guys we've seen on film, and we've got early evaluations on, follow up with guys that we maybe seen during the springtime when we went through for spring recruiting or had in camp this summer. So, big evaluation time for us. New film, guys have grown, got stronger and bigger, and, we want to see those improvements, and that way we can bring film back to get evaluated as we start to narrow this thing down. As we're trying to look for the right guys going into the recruiting process.
I know you all do a lot of recruiting in-state, and I know you, Coach Lamb, I'm assuming, Coach, you're going to stay here close to home probably.
So, you got Coach Lambert's in the state of Kentucky, Coach Hoskins in the state of Kentucky, Coach Anderson's in the state of Kentucky, Coach Mobley is, Coach Susie, almost everybody on our staff has a piece of Kentucky, because, hey, we're going to start here in the state and we're going to work our way out. And, I would probably be safe to say that we play more Kentucky kids than any other team in the state. and that goes for the big boys too, you know. And we've got a lot of locally grown kids, you know. I mean, you look at Braxton Whitmore, you know, an hour down the road from Perry County Central, you know, been a first-team all-conference tight end. You know, Willis from Belfry, you know what I mean, that's been here. You know, we just graduated and is on staff, you know, Sonny Warren, you know, from right here in Belfry. So, you know, we've got guys that's been right here in the state and other parts of the state that's big for us. And, you know, we want to start here. We work our way out and give these guys the opportunity, but we're looking for the right young men, you know, and that's the number one key is finding the guys that want to get it done academically, that want to get it done, you know, in the classroom on a week-to-week basis, and then, hey, performance-wise is going to fit the mold of what we're looking for. We want to find guys with great practice habits that want to come and bring it day in and day out because it is a competition in practice. It's not just on Saturday when the lights come on. It's that Monday through Friday, you know, what are you getting done then? You know, are you a guy that we can rely on? It's going to be in study hall. It's going to be in weights on time. It's going to be a leader for this team. And, hey, when your number's called, you're going to be ready for it. And it's tough for young kids to understand, but, you know, we're trying to find all those intangibles in each and every kid that we find. And we got high standards for these guys, but we'll continue to find the right ones.
Well, Coach, looks like we've come to the end of our time today. You know, of course, off week, and we'll come back next week and talk about your next opponent, Union.
Yep, and that'll be a big one for homecoming, so we'll have a lot to talk about, and we'll be looking forward to that one. But we sure appreciate you guys, Charlie, and thanks to B-Dubs for everything that they do for us.
So for Coach Al Holland, this is Charlie Pinson. We'll see you next week on the Coach Al Holland Show.